Okay, so today I'm gonna be teaching some of the intermediate players as to how to handle Brian Fury's pressure. So if you're one of those players who thinks that Brian's pressure is only snake edge, orbital, hatchet and soccer kick, then consider yourself as an intermediate because you're totally wrong. So to experience Brian's pressure, you'd really need to play against a really good Brian player as to like fight against a good player so you know what it feels like. So a Brian players, okay, a character, a person who's mained Brian, he should usually have more character knowledge of the character you are playing than his own character to be very good against you. So here we're gonna take Brian as an example, and I'm gonna teach you onto how to counter his pressure and how and when not to press buttons and mash buttons will not help you anyway. So alright, so let's get started. So the basic pressure tool that people really fear the most is gonna be the hatchet kick, right? People really get bamboozled by it. They really think that like something really hard hit them, even though it's just 23 damage. Even though it's just 23 damage, like 2 hatchets will put you at 46. So that's like a mini combo. Okay, that's like Farkum Ram's back 1+2, and then the follow-up, which is forward, whatever. So Brian, okay, depends on how your opponent is playing. If he relies too much on hatchet kick and the mid mix-ups like this, so you'd really need to be very good with your defense and low parries hatchet or duck and punish it or do an orbital. So that is one way to go about it. But if a Brian player knows you're gonna do an orbital, alright, for example, I'm gonna show you right here. This is very common with Brian players. They know all your tricks, they know what the usual player would do. So for example, you're doing hatchet and an orbital, right? Hold up, I'm gonna teach you. Hold up, sorry about that. So if you're doing hatchet and you see that? This is very common. Most of the Brian players know about this. So don't really do this. Don't really do an orbital right after it. Even though you might expect a hatchet, don't do it. The first thing I'd say, like if you're playing against a good Brian player, do not duck. Do not duck whatsoever, because Brian's main pressure comes from his mid games, right? The mid game he has. It is pretty strong. So 3+4, orbital, quarter circle back 2, this string, whatever it is, the snake step, the predator step, then the soccer kick, alright, then forward 3, 1+2, down 2, down forward 2, down forward 2, 3, down forward 2, 1, down forward 4. All these things are mid. So the only thing he has to get you out of that comfort zone is hatchet. So if your if your defense is pretty good, right? So if your defense is pretty good, I'd recommend that you duck all of his orbitals, all of his hatchets, and punish them accordingly. If you cannot duck his hatchets, then he's gonna screw the shit out of you, because he's gonna keep on doing this. As soon as you duck, he's gonna do this, or maybe do an orbital, maybe do a forward 3. If after a hatchet he does a forward 3 and you press something, the forward 3 turns into a 12 frame move. So if you do anything slower than 12 frame, slower than 12 frame, you're launched, right? So you don't want to do that. And also, I forgot to mention, he also has the infamous Northern Cross. So for example, if Brian Blaze does this, right? So for example, if he hits me with a hatchet and I try to stop him, see, if I do anything other than a mid, that to a fast mid and launch. I'm doing a 1-2 right here. Look. So this is one of the things that you don't really want to do. The other thing that I'd say is that unless you're out of this range, do not perform a backdash. Do not perform a backdash, because the 3+4 will clip you and you're gonna keep on wondering what hit you. It's a very basic step. So for example, if a brand player hits you with a hatchet, do not backdash out of it, just hold back. Alright, look. Just hold back. If I try to backdash out of it, sometimes the 3+4 will flip me. See, I was just trying to backdash. Or I avoided it there. But most of the times it will get you. And then it will be another Oki for him. And you'll be dead probably. Another thing you don't want to do is you don't really want to block most of his hatchet kicks, because believe it or not, the ducking, right, it gets engraved on, like, in your mind. So if you duck a lot, you'll automatically putting yourself in a negative situation, a situation you don't really want to be. But then again, also you should know when he's gonna throw a hatchet so you can duck. So there's a 50-50 right there, right? So you need to know, like, when is he gonna hit me up with a hatchet, or when is he gonna do a soccer. Like, you need to know his mind games. If you don't have that kind of game experience, if you don't have that kind of reflexes where you can see and duck, then it's pretty hard to beat a good Bryan player. Another thing, if the Bryan player knows how to handle the taunt, right? If he knows how to handle the taunt, the most basic setup at the wall that he's gonna use is gonna be this. He's gonna do a hatchet, and then he's at +5, right? Then he's gonna do a down forward 2-3. I'll show you how it works, right? So, alright, wait, messed it up. Alright. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna do a hatchet, he's +5, then he's gonna do this, then he's gonna do this, then he's gonna do whatever. Alright. So you press something, you get down, and that's like a lot of damage for no reason. So you don't really want to do this. What I recommend you do at the wall after he hits you with a hatchet, right? Just step. Just try to step. So you can only step downwards. Alright, or just hold back. I'd recommend just holding back, because stepping at the wall can be tricky. So just hold back. Another thing, if a Bryan player tries to taunt jet upper you, and you really just let it go, like you really don't just like punish him for it, he's gonna keep on trying it. And a taunt jet upper is a free launcher for him. So you wanna avoid that, and I'll show you how it is. So he misses it, right? Just duck and launch him. I'm gonna show it again. And also, why you don't, I'm not recommending ducking at the wall, because ducking at the wall can get you killed. Because when a Bryan player notices that you're ducking, he's not gonna do the harder taunt jet upper again, he's gonna do the taunt back 4. So you don't really want that. You just wanna hold back and punish him for it. I'm sorry about that. You just want to punish him for it. Alright, like this is, I'm not teaching the beginner stuff on as to how to handle Bryan. I'm just teaching on to how to handle his wall game and everything else. Another thing that I'd say, that you don't really want to stay in the like close distance to Bryan, not even in the middle range. You want to stay somewhere around here. Because this is the position as to where you can punish his 3+4 or back 1, jet upper, hatchet, forward 3, anything else. anything of any relevance to Brian can be punished right outside the middle stage right here. I'll show you how. So here's Brian, right? He does a 3+4, 3+4, forward 3. He moves around a lot, does a hatchet. Stay out of here. He's gonna do something. Sorry about that. Punish. 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 Like, stay out of here. Stay out of the middle zone. Don't stay close to him. Punish. Alright. Like, against mediocre players, like against the people who don't really know how to play Brian, all they're gonna do is like hatchet you, you know, like I'm gonna show you how to handle that. So they're just gonna hatchet, hatchet, hatchet for orbital, right? So how you wanna handle that? Hatchet, mark kick. If you're playing Brian yourself, or you can use whatever tool you have. Counter hit. I don't recommend stepping the hatchet because it's pretty hard and it requires like on-time execution, and his mark kick can get you, right? So you don't really want to do this. You don't really want to step it. You really want to block it or interrupt him. Don't step him, because if the mark kick gets you, it's 115, 120 damage with wall, with rage and whatever. So you don't really want to do that. Another thing that I'd say, for example, for experienced Brian player, I'm not talking about a random ranked Trojan Brian player you meet online, right? Not that kind of Brian player. Like a Brian player like who only plays Brian. So, and he knows how to use the taunt. He's gonna definitely put you through this. Definitely. Definitely. So at this point, right, if you get hit and you see him do down back, don't press anything. Don't get up. Don't get up, because if you do get up, it doesn't matter if you hold back or not. I'm gonna show you why. Hold up. It might connect. All right, so you want to avoid that. A brand player who can pull off the taunt jet, but most of the times you don't really want to do that against him because you're giving him a free launcher. Right. Another thing that I'd recommend when playing against a good Brian player would be to always duck the quarter circle back to 4 string, because obviously it's a high. The second hit is a high if it doesn't connect. Alright. And what else? Yeah, so also practice stepping this string right here. This string. You gotta punish him for it. You can also parry it. Only the delayed version, right? Also, a lot of intermediate Brian players like to spam this string. Low parry it or punish it, it's -12, alright? And what else? I guess that's about it. Like, these are the only things you gotta know when playing against intermediate to a good Brian player. This will help you a lot. Like, if you keep these things in mind, it would improve your overall gameplay. The rest of your performance depends upon how you execute your moves, how much damage you pull off in every combo, how's your attacking, how's your defense. The rest of it is based upon your skill. This is the only kind of basic knowledge you need to play against a good Brian player. I hope it helps you, and also because Brian players are pretty toxic and pretty humiliating. Like, they try to end off with a taunt and fucking hit you with 7 hatchets in a row. I understand that. So I hope that helps you, and let me know if like you need any other help with anything else. Alright man, nice to see you.